Don't know how to respond when a job interview asks, "So, what's your greatest weakness?" I'm going to give you a solid formula that will work for every single one of you, regardless of your history or the type of work that you are looking for. Hi, I'm Jessie Zillennial. First, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video about how to elevate your career. I've interviewed countless people, and this question tends to stump interviewees. It is the most dreaded question in the whole interview process. So first, I'm going to briefly explain why this question is even asked in the first place, because a lot of you might be frustrated by it. Second, I'm going to tell you what not to say. I mean, so many people use this cliche answer and it is stupid and you want to avoid it because it's so transparent. It's not authentic at all. And then I'm going to give you my surefire formula that works and makes you look like a hero. Let's dive into it. So why do employers and recruiters ask this question to begin with? Are they trying to stump you? Are they being mean? No, I'll tell you the real reason why this question gets asked. Yes, it could be to eliminate people, but I don't think that's really the reason why people ask. That's not the reason why I ever asked. Employers want to see that you are introspective because they want somebody who is coachable. Let's face it, absolutely nobody is perfect. Nobody. So if you think you're perfect and if you think you don't have any weaknesses, that is a red flag to the employer. So it's not the fact that you have a weakness that makes a response bad. It's when somebody thinks that they don't have any weaknesses. That is really terrible. And that's probably one of the worst responses I have. I have a bad one though coming up next. It's not as bad as I have no weaknesses, but it's pretty close. So here is that typical response that gets given all the time that you want to avoid. And that is, my greatest weakness is that I care too much. That is so lame. It is not authentic in any way, shape, or form. It's not a true weakness. When the employers are asking you these questions, they want to know an actual weakness. They don't want a bunch of fluff because, again, if you are unable to show that you have been able to identify within yourself that you have a real weakness, you are not going to be coachable. This is going to be a running theme throughout this whole video. But you also don't want to overshare. This is where people can get all kinds of messed up. They really talk about things that they shouldn't be saying. They'll overshare and say something like, "Well, my biggest weakness is that I don't care about anything." Nobody wants to hear that. Don't say that. So how do you balance between wanting to be authentic and talk about a real weakness so that way it looks like you have the ability to be introspective and not oversharing? Well, that's where the formula comes into play. Quickly though, before I get into the formula, if you are enjoying these tips, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. It really does help this channel to grow. That's what we're trying to do. And let me know in the comments, how will you plan to respond to the greatest weakness interview question after watching this video? I would love to know. All right, here we are. The formula is, historically, I've been known to be blank and list a weakness. Or you can say, historically, I've had a bad habit of being blank. We'll call that X. X is your weakness. So historically, I've been known to be X, a weakness. Then you say, but this is crucial. You have to pivot from outing yourself about your weakness. Okay. So say, but then you say, I've been working on it by doing blank. That's the Y factor. Okay, what's this Y? So I've been working on it by doing blank. By saying that you have been working on it, it means that you're proactive and you're doing something about it. But that's not all. Don't stop there. The last part of the formula is saying, and that is really helping me to be more blank. That factor we'll call the Z factor. So we have X, Y, Z. X is your weakness, Y is the action that you've been taking, and Z is the outcome that has resulted from your action. And here's the beauty about the formula. The Z factor is actually the opposite of your X factor. So when you say, and that's really helping me to be more blank, that blank is the opposite. So let me give you an example. Historically, I've been known to be a bit impatient. Okay, so that's a weakness. It's a real weakness that I'm giving them. I'm not giving them a bunch of fluff. But I've been working on it by breaking tasks up into smaller tasks so that those things I can achieve right away. And I also work on communicating with others that are part of the project. So that way, if I understand what they're actually doing, that helps me to be more patient. See, that was the Z factor. So by doing the action, it is really helping me to be more patient. Patient is the opposite of impatient. And that makes you a little hero. Why? Because it shows that you not only have the ability to recognize your weaknesses, but you take initiative to improve upon them, to improve upon yourself. Employers want initiative because initiative is a character issue. You either have it or you don't. It is almost impossible to train initiative into somebody. So if they can see that you've already taken initiative in your own life to improve upon a weakness just because, I mean, just bells and whistles, confetti, they love this. They also know that if this is how you handled one of your weaknesses, then chances are you don't have a problem handling any additional weaknesses in the same way. It shows that you're going to be easy to work with when you inevitably make a mistake because you will. You're not perfect. Nobody is. It shows that you are what? Coachable. Yes, coachable, teachable, that their energy in coaching and teaching and training you, it's not going to be wasted. And it also shows that you have a good personality, which they like. Who doesn't want to work with somebody who has a good personality? We all want that. The takeaway is that you want to have the interview go as positively as possible. And talking about your weakness doesn't have to mean that the interview is going badly or negatively at all. Think about the greatest weakness question as an opportunity to shine. Use the formula, be a hero. Now, to keep the interview positive, be sure to check out this video for things that you should definitely avoid during your interview. Like, don't say these things. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the things. I will see you in the next one. Until then, ciao.